So recently, I got a chance to take some students out to Colorado Bend State Park. We got to go into the caves, take a hike to Gorman Falls, the 70-foot waterfall located in the park, and I got to take a trip down memory lane. So here we are hiking over to the cave entrance. Colorado Bend is relatively famous for its caves, and this is the second time I've gotten to go down into the caves. The first time I went was in 2019. It was my first ever trip with our program back when I was a student worker and had no idea what I was doing. But going back was a great experience, and I'm happy that everything worked out. Getting in and out of the caves was incredible. When you think of caves, most people will think of a giant hole inside of a mountain or a hill, but here we had to go through a slot in the ground, and it was tight. So tight, in fact, that I couldn't turn my foot without angling my toes up or down. If I kept my foot flat, it would bind up. So here we are in the caves. This cave system spanned a good bit of distance and was a little tighter than I remember. There were sections where you were belly crawling, but they opened up as you can see here. Inside the cave, we had a chance to learn about different formations, how the caves were formed, and the types of minerals that have been deposited over thousands and thousands of years. We didn't see any bats this time, but everyone still had an absolute
A
blast.
lot more chill than the surface scorpions.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this definitely could lead some people with claustrophobia to panic. Some of our participants struggled slightly, but everyone on our trip made it through with no problems. Later on in the day, we made the hike to Gorman Falls. This picturesque feature was a decent hike away from camp, but worth every step. Getting down to the falls was definitely an adventure, but once at the bottom, you're greeted with a 70-foot tall, incredible view. We hung around the area for a while, exploring the riverbank and going up a hill a bit to another slot cave. We took pictures, explored the small cave, and got the chance to just bask in the glory of the outdoors. We basked for a little longer than planned, however, and had to make the hike back in the dark. While this is not my favorite way to travel, this in itself was an experience. The terrain seemed to morph in the shadows. The sounds of wildlife shifted, and we turned off our headlamps in a clearing and let our eyes wander across the Milky Way. The next morning, we gathered up the gang and found a spot to enjoy our coffee while watching the sunrise. And back at camp, we made smashed cinnamon rolls and loaded up our remaining gear. All in all, this trip was fantastic. From getting to know our participants to exploring underground, we gave students an experience many miss out on and one I think more people should undertake.